So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the solar eclipse in Aries. I'm going to be breaking down exactly what I think about this alignment, talking about what the evolutionary potential is for us to utilize and to make sense of, to integrate, and hopefully giving us a perspective that can guide us along with these current energies. So this is happening for the 20th of April 2023 and here in Sweden at 12 minutes past 6 in the morning. So before I jump into all of that good stuff, I just want to acknowledge a few things. So I didn't actually do a video for us for the previous lunar cycle. There's lots of changes that are taking place in my current life at the moment, and I'm trying to order the way that I create content, the way that I deliver astrology to you, the Raising Vibrations community. And I'm just trying to figure a few things out at the moment. And one of the things that has become real to me here is that I've really wanted to create some dynamic, creative content for you, the community, to help you navigate these transits. And I've kind of hit a bit of a block at the moment. And that's why in today's video, it's going to be very much just the chart in front of you, because I feel that the value primarily here is about the astrology. And I'm hoping that the next cycle that comes along, so the lunar eclipse, I'll be able to get back to a place that I feel comfortable and that I'm able to be in a place where I can deliver content for you and we can gain some momentum again regarding consistent delivery of the astrology. So thanks very much for those of you that have been sticking around, that have been bearing with me at this point. I'm hoping to land something over the next couple of weeks internally for myself where I can consistently keep creating this content. I'm very excited about it. I'm not going anywhere. I have no intention of stopping creating content for you, the viewer. And for those of you that know me in terms of my personal work, those that work in the mentorship with me, as well as the Metamorphosis Program, there's lots changing behind the scenes. So again, I just want to say thank you for all of you that have been following me and raising vibrations. I'm here, we're here, and look forward to bringing some more astro content for us. Okay, so that's out of the way. Let's jump straight into this energy, this pattern at the moment. By now, many of you have probably watched quite a lot of videos and you have some idea of the energy at the moment. So the perspective that I'm going to bring into this conversation today is based deeply in evolutionary astrology's mechanisms, how to understand the chart from that perspective. And the piece that I want to really awaken within you today is how can you consciously use these archetypes to become more connected to your own personal life story. And this is a big piece of perspective that you need to have in order for this content to actually make sense to you, the way I'm communicating. And for those of you that have been following me for a long period of time, you know that. And for those of you that are new to the channel, the perspective that helps you make sense of what I'm communicating about, what I'm talking about, how I see the astrology, you need to know that you have a personal, individual story that you are living, right? You have a soul story. There's a karmic path. There's an emotional journey that you're on. There is a personal myth that you are living out. And when we look at the transits, what we're looking at is how these personal myths, how these personal stories of ours are being activated, okay? And sometimes we'll have deep, profound activations, and other times we won't go through profound activations and everything will kind of be chilled out and calm for a while. And that will be reflected in the way that you can resonate with what I'm talking about or not. So that's something else that when you're listening to this content, you want to be able to internalize as well as adjust what I'm talking about, that is where you are personally for yourself. So not every single person is going to experience the Saturn in Pisces in the same way, right? And so that's where you translate that for yourself. And I'm going to try to give you the way to look at it, and then you need to translate within yourself, because some people are going to have Saturn transiting their 7th house in Pisces. Some people are going to have this happening in their 10th house. You need to have your astrology chart available, looking at the transits, and then being able to, again, synthesize and translate what's happening for you personally in relation to the message that I want to put across. So what's very evident and clear in this chart to both me and Jen has to do with this Aries energy, of course. And specifically speaking, the Aries energy holds the tone, holds the vibration, holds the essence of a new direction. Okay, so Aries energy is very much about being present with something new that is real and alive for us. So what you want to do is you want to reflect back in your current life, and you want to look at where there are potential new experiences alive for you. Where is there something new that you can begin? And because this Aries sun has been moving through Aries for just over the month, of course this would have been building up within your life. So what you want to do is you want to reflect back over the last month and start to pick and pay attention to where new experiences, new opportunities, new situations were percolating for you, were coming up for you, that were bubbling up. And the solar eclipse, because we know that a solar eclipse is about a 6-month process, is pointing to the activation of these opportunities. In other words, there is the solar eclipse is initiating a 6-month pattern where you can begin to action, right? Where you can begin to step forward into these new experiences, like lean into it, that emotionally lean into a new scenario, a new experience, a new set of situations that are available for you, okay? So there's something fresh, there's something new, there's something alive that is available personally for you within your life. And you want to notice what that is, and then ask yourself the question, am I ready to go on the hero's quest? Am I going to be the heroine in the story? And one of the ways that you can really connect with this Aries energy at the moment is think about what it means to be the heroine in a story, what it means to be the hero in a story. There's often a symbol that is part of this process, something that you are after, right? If you think about a story where a hero or heroine is involved, there's always a quest that is alive and present and that must be pursued. So what are you ready to pursue in your life? What quest are you ready to embark on? That's where you're at. It's the beginning, it's the start line. And there's a threshold that you're going to have to cross. So part of understanding the energy at the moment, what is alive, what's real, what's percolating, what's the freshness, is a opportunity to begin a quest. And what that looks like for you, you fill in the blanks. So that can be a new job, that can be a new situation arising in your life. There are these moments, and that's very much what Aries is about, right? This moment that you can capture, that you can become a part of. You may not know what the full story is about. You may not know what the entirety of the experience is going to be, but there's something alive right now, and you want to embrace in that. So lean into that. And the solar eclipse is at this individual level for us, speaking to the potential and the possibility to take something of a quest, to take something that's in your life and go on that adventure. And again, you will not know what that looks like, but it's about leaning into that experience and starting a fresh cycle, okay? It will unfold for you. And part of that unfolding process will be met with a complete new set of growth opportunities, right? So the tendency with this energy that's alive right now is to shy away from it. Oh, I'm not ready, right? What happens if this happens? What happens if that happens? And Aries doesn't think like that. It says, I'm ready, I'm here, let's do this. So take that attitude. That's an attitude that if you take with you or embody during this time, and you synthesize that, you attach to the quest or to the part of you or the part of your reality that's inviting you for something new, if you have that mindset that I'm ready, I'm here, let's go, you will benefit from this energy. You will benefit from this time. So there's something new that's alive right now. Lean into it, okay? And the solar eclipse is facilitating this pattern for the next 6 months. So there's a huge growth opportunity for us right now. Okay, so that's the kind of solar eclipse energy that's present with all this potential. Now, I want you to take a look at this over here. So there's this natural square between Chiron and Aries and Mars and Cancer, okay? And if you look as well, Pluto's sitting there right at the top. It's sitting at 0 degrees Aquarius. At some point within the next couple of weeks, Mars will move all the way and then make an opposition to Pluto. So the reason why I'm pointing this out is that there are 2 stages to Mars's current movement through Cancer. Stage 1 is what you're looking at here. This is the Chiron square Aries, okay? Or Chiron square Mars, pardon me. And then 2 is going to be Mars's opposition to Pluto. So what I'm pointing out to here is that this square to Chiron, this Mars square to Chiron, will reflect itself as an energetic sensitivity. There are many layers to the story. The first layer that I want to bring across is the sensitivity inwardly within us at an emotional level in which you're trying to regain your agency. Okay? So what do I mean when I talk about regaining agency? It's the capacity to realize that you can influence something, you can make a choice. Within all situations and circumstances that you have within your life, there is a range of choices that you can make. Circumstances and situations will define the range of that. So in some scenarios, that choice making is very limited. But in other situations, there's lots of choices. The perspective I'm trying to put across here is that the square is trying, with Chiron's message to Aries, Chiron's message to Mars, is the capacity to realize that you have some agency, to awaken the capacity for choice, to realize that you can do something, right? So it's move. The energy here is about movement, and especially at an emotional level. And what you will experience, what you will feel like within this energy is blockage, right? I feel stuck. Something's jammed. And I really want to make it move, but I can't. I can't do it with force. I can't do it with will. So I have to think about it in a different way. So the second layer within this very beautiful and empowering square is the capacity to ask yourself the question, what am I not seeing in the current situation? So if I'm feeling jammed, if I'm feeling blocked, if I'm feeling stuck in some way, how can I shift my perspective? How can I look at it differently? How can I see where maybe I'm not seeing my agency? Where can I be perceiving my lack of disempowerment? So at a deeper level, at a psychological and emotional level, this energy is prompting a deep inquiry, a deep self-reflective inquiry to ask, where do you maybe hold a belief or a set series of beliefs that says you are not empowered yet? You don't have choice. You don't have agency. And you want to really rewrite that mechanism. You want to really rewrite that perspective. When you ask yourself the question, is this true for me? Okay. And that's what that translates to as an experience is meeting your growth edge, right? It's like the edge of your boundary, what you're comfortable with. So Aries is always consistently pushing that boundary and saying, is this what you're really capable of? This is what you're really capable of. And a lot of the times that will sound like, yes, I'm comfortable with this. But this energy doesn't want you to do that. It wants you to say, can I challenge that growth edge? Can I challenge the part of me that is comfortable with things, but actually I can grow beyond this boundary? So part of the solar eclipse energy houses the message that if you are to take that leap of faith, if you are to look at that potential growth within your life, that new opportunity, that new situation, it might actually ask you to realize within yourself that what might be holding you back is more of a fear of vulnerability, a fear of, a fear of not being good enough, a fear of failure, whatever that may be. And you want to say, I'm not going to let that run my life anymore. Whatever that may be. So part of this solar eclipse energy is asking you to push that comfortability, that growth edge a little bit further beyond that. And you'll see that there will be certain changes and opportunities arise for you when you make that shift within yourself. And this is kind of like an ongoing process. It's not like a one-day choice that you just make and then all of a sudden everything materializes in a magical, wonderful way. It's more about the constant ongoing shift in your mindset and the reflection of deep subconscious beliefs that you may hold about yourself, that the way that life informed you. And you want to question that. You say, is this true for me still? Because again, if you look at it's not squaring it at the moment, but Jupiter sitting at 23 degrees over there will be squaring Pluto. I mean, it's from an evolutionary astrology's perspective, Jupiter sitting at 23 degrees Aries is already squaring Pluto in my eyes. It just doesn't show it over here. So progressively, we're going to have a Jupiter square Pluto during the 6-month period. And Jupiter square Pluto is the opportunity to really look at underlying beliefs that we may hold about certain emotional patterns within ourselves and say, is this true for us? That's one dimension, that's one aspect to look at it. But it fits nicely into the potential that is held within this solar eclipse energy. Okay, so an invitation for a new story. Okay. Now, if we take a look at this Pluto square that's happening here, right? So Pluto is sitting at 0 degrees Aquarius, and it's squaring the south and north node. Right, south node being in Scorpio, north node being in Taurus, and you can see there that the solar eclipse is happening on that north node. So if you're not familiar with what a solar eclipse is or a lunar eclipse is, it's when you have a new moon or a full moon, okay, that happens on the nodes. So in this case over here, we have a new moon that is landing on the north node, there in Taurus. And then when we have a lunar eclipse, this will happen on the south node in Scorpio. So when we have eclipses, what is essentially happening is that the sun and moon energy, whatever they represent, the meaning behind it, will align with the nodes. And the nodes, which is indicated here, for those of you that are, right, when it aligns with the nodes, it sets a pattern that we will live through for 6 months. So it impacts the way that we experience our consciousness. It impacts the way that we experience reality. So there's a tremendous amount of significance when we have solar and lunar eclipses. So again, if you look at this specific configuration here, when you see Pluto, this symbol here, making these red lines to the Scorpio-Taurus axis, what you are seeing is a very important message. And then we have this solar eclipse on the north node and then the lunar eclipse on the south node. So this is very important. It's like it's a powerful set of patterns that will inform and dictate and shape the way that we navigate the next 6 months. So the question is, well, what does that mean for us? So again, the first layer of thinking in this chart over here has to do with what are you freeing yourself from? Okay, Aquarius, what is being accelerated within your life? What parts of your life are potentially breaking down in order for something new to come into that? What parts of your life are happening very rapidly and are putting you in situations where you're experiencing yourself align with certain realities, certain aspects of life that actually give you a sense of freedom. It's like, wow, I really feel movement here. I feel alive in this space. I feel aligned with something. Where are you examining your life and saying, this feels stuck and I need to eliminate this. I need to remove myself from this. I need to somehow break free from this holding pattern. So the solar eclipse in Aries says, okay, well, let's do this. There's a bunch of examples and situations and scenarios in your life right now, whatever that means for you. And the solar eclipse is saying, let's do it. Let's take that action. Let's jump in. Let's follow the quest. What is it? Go and do it. Right? So this is the pattern right now that is pointing towards a new opportunity, a new investment, a new experience, a new direction. And the funny little trick about this pattern over here is it's completely unexpected. It's not the door that you thought it was. It was not the path that you thought it was. You may be looking at it a certain way and then realizing, hang on, actually, it's materializing in a completely different way. There's something unexpected that is like questioning you or invoking you to move in that direction. You may have not considered it. So there's a part of this solar eclipse in energy that is inviting us to see an unexpected opportunity, an unexpected scenario, an unexpected story that shows up, and you go, huh, that's interesting. I didn't think about that, but that seems natural to me. And what you will probably recognize is an undertone of a set series of values that seem to be attracting you to a group or attracting you to a scenario or a situation. It's like the values that everybody shares is what's really dragging you into the scenario. It's like, oh, actually, I like that because of, right? Whatever that may mean for you. So this pattern over here is prompting a deep metamorphosis within the underbelly of your psychology. And that metamorphosis is a pressure for freedom, a pressure to break free, a pressure to change something. And the Aries energy says, well, do it. The Chiron square Mars says, if you do that, A, trust yourself, have faith in yourself. It might be a little bit scary, but yeah, you're going to grow. You're going to challenge yourself. Be curious, be open. Seek to know more, right? The shadow side of this experience is complete disempowerment. The shadow side of this is complete stuckness. The shadow side of this energy is feeling I'm blocked. There's no way out. I can't get out of this. And that's building a tremendous amount of frustration and anger to the surface. I'm angry that I can't do this. I'm angry I can't move out of this way. I'm angry I can't do that. And so that's prompting. And so you want to listen to that anger because it's informing you that this is where the path no longer moves forward. So that's the piece that I want to end off in terms of today's conversation with you, is that the summary here is that there are 3 patterns. 1, there is something new that you can embark on. Go ahead and do that. 2, recognize that part of that new direction, A, will give you life force. B, feels that you're actually breaking out of a pattern that feels outdated, no longer inspiring to you, that feels dead, that we're living in a new world. There's a new series of experiences and perspectives and paradigms to live within. And this energy over here is saying we've become aware of a closing cycle. Are you ready to take a leap into the new? And it's a push. It's like this energy is pushing subtly at every single person to say, whatever it is that I was doing before that now I feel frustrated, blocked, or stuck with, I need to surrender to that. I need to let go of that. I can transmute this. I can change the perspective. So there's a shift in something new. There's a liberation with this energy. And it requires you to have faith in yourself. It requires you to be okay with the unknown, to be curious, and to let it allow itself to move you in that direction. Okay, so that's the message for this energy today. This is how the solar eclipse in Aries is supporting your dreams. I hope that it gives you context. I hope that it gives you something to work with. Of course, I'm always going to be reading your comments in the comment section. So, share with me your experiences. I'd like to see how this astrology is materializing for you in your life. Okay? And like I said, from this point onwards, hopefully I'll be able to be providing astrological context and content for all of you. I've been working hard behind the scenes with the projects of the Metamorphosis Program and the Astrology Mentorship. And if those of you that are interested in actually wanting to work with me one-to-one and be mentored to take your astrological practice out of self-study and put it into a more serious role, and you want dedicated attention to actually develop your skills and to grow into a professional business, make it into something that's just not self-study, there is an actual link in the description over there, and you can book a call with me. It's a free 15-minute call. I'll check out your needs, see where you're at, and if there's an opportunity to work with you and mentor you, then yeah, that will be the case. And for those of you that are looking for more serious, deep soul work, if you want to be able to look at the story, understand your karmic myth, be able to understand the deeper purpose that you actually exist within your life, there's also a link in the description for a free 15-minute call. What I'll do is I'll ask you to fill out a form, to check out your needs, where you're at, and after that we'll have the call and I'll see where you're at, and if there's an opportunity to work with you there as well. You can also then come into a more personal contact with me, and we can really see what the archetypal story is that your soul's on and to help you realign with that. So those are the two things there, as you know. I really hope that everybody got some value from this. I look forward to creating some more content for you. And until the meantime, have an amazing solar eclipse in Aries energy. Take care, guys. Bye.